Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, I made cassava flour. This is incredible. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna make more. Hey guys, back here from a pat here. Guys, I did a huge harvest of cassava just yesterday, day before yesterday. And yesterday I showed you how to cut it up the easy way, the easy and quick way to slice and cut up and peel the cassava. And I also showed you how I process my cassava for future use. And in today's video, guys, we're gonna take some of this beautiful cassava that's left and we're gonna make some cassava flour. Traditional way to make cassava flour, guys, is to use a grater and to grate the cassava. So you take large chunks of cassava. If you have one of these, you just use the smallest side, which would be this side, because you want to get the cassava as small as possible. So I think all the YouTubers that I found online did this. However, I like to do things the easy way, guys. So I'm going to be using a food processor today. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to chop some of this cassava up. You can see I already chopped some up last night, but I'm going to chop some of this cassava up and we're going to feed it through the food processor and then we're going to go on to the next step. Guys, I peeled 40 plus pounds of cassava last night. So my thumbs are literally still sore from last night from peeling the cassava. But the way that I use is 10 times easier, much easier than what I see some people doing. With cassava, you don't peel it. I mean, you don't peel it the normal way. You kind of have to, there's a special technique where you score the skin and then it easily peels off. So even though I did it the easy way, guys, it was just really difficult doing 40 pounds, over 40 pounds. Especially since some of the pieces were super thick. The peeling part wasn't hard, but it was just cutting through the cassava because cassava, it's tough. It's tough. Anyway, I think I have enough cut up here. So I'm going to start feeding this through the food processor. As you can see, this is white, beautiful, healthy cassava that was just harvested from my own backyard 2 days ago. There's nothing like, you know, using your own stuff. So much better than, you know, buying frozen. Anyway, let's get this pass this through the food processor. So I'm using a normal food processor. It has a different functions on here. I'm gonna shred it. I'm gonna use the shred function because I think that's closest to what I want. It's not chopped. I don't want it chopped. I don't want it sliced. I want it shredded. So I have the little shredding thing in here. This is in place. Make sure that's in place so it's gonna shred it. And I'm gonna just secure this back on. And I'm gonna select shred since we're shredding. So let's get started. I'm just gonna start dropping the pieces in. Selecting shred. How this compares. Oops. Wow, guys, I would say this is absolutely perfectly shredded, and it took me a minute instead of sitting here gratering for like half an hour and getting my fingers in there. Look at that. Perfectly shredded. So let me just finish it up. I have a little bit more. I think I'm just going to do all this cassava. As you can see, I made sure everything is nicely cut up so it can go through the chute of the food processor, and it's basically evenly cut up. So now I'm just going to finish blending this up and then we'll move on. I'm going to empty what I have so far because it's kind of getting a little full. Guys, look at that. Perfectly blended. I think I'm gonna use some of this to make one of Jamaica's famous dishes. It's called bami, and it's basically a fried cassava flat cake. I'm gonna make some bami with this. That's something I love. I've always loved as a child. And you use the wet flour, the wet shredded cassava in this state to make bami. So I think I'm gonna make some bami with this. But guys, this is what we have so far, and I've only done a little bit of what I cut up. Let me show you what else is left. This is all that's left of what I had cut up, so I just used a little bit, less than half. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend the rest, because I plan on making a whole batch of flour, so I can just fill up a couple jars, so I can use my cassava flour whenever I want it. All right, I just did the rest. See how much we got. Wow, guys, this is a lot. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Guys, this is my very first time making cassava flour. Very first time. Wow, look at all this. So this is, right now it's just shredded cassava. So there are a couple more steps that it has to take to become actual cassava, like what you saw at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to take you through those steps now. So I did a small batch last night, just to try it first before actually recording it. So I'm going to switch to that video now and take you through the rest of the process. But guys, I am super excited. I have so much to make with this cassava. Actually, I'm going to take some of this cassava and make some bami. So I'll probably record that so you can see how I take you through the process of making bami. And I'm going to be making cassava dumplings. Guys, it's just so much that is coming up. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the cassava making. Alright guys, so we're going to switch to last night's video where I made that first little bowl, and you're going to see the actual process. I have a bowl with some clean cheesecloth, and I'm just going to put it into the cheesecloth and squeeze out the liquid. So one thing about cassava that I want to mention, cassava has some cyanide in it. So if it's not properly cooked or properly processed, it can actually cause some serious damage. But the good thing about cassava flour, the way it's processed and dried with all the liquid gone, that actually makes it safe to eat. So you hold it and you squeeze the liquid out. See? You can do it this way, or some people, they put like a heavy weight on it to just squeeze it out manually. Get all that liquid out. Well, my mom, of course, you know, my mom is a much older lady. She is gonna be 97 in a couple months. Still strong, still 100% in her mind. And she reminded me that in Jamaica, as a child, the actual, what you see coming out here is the starch. They actually use the liquid to starch their clothes, to press their clothes and make it nice and crisp. That's what this liquid was actually used for. So they didn't discard it. All right, so we're squeezing all the liquid out. I'm gonna pour this liquid out, and then I'm gonna put some more of the cassava flour in here, squeeze it out also, and then we're gonna spread it out, and then I'm gonna dehydrate it in my dehydrate function in the oven. I'm giving it one last squeeze. I want to get rid of as much of the liquid as possible so that way it dries well. Then I'm gonna discard, since I have no intention of making starch to press my clothes. I'm gonna discard this liquid. I wrung it out as much as I could, and this is what's left. I've already emptied it once, and this is what's left. All right, so now the best thing to do is spread it out on a non-stick cookie sheet and let it dehydrate, or if you have a dehydrator machine, you can go ahead and dehydrate. My oven has a dehydrate function, so I'm going to dehydrate it on a low temperature of 110. All right, so I just spread out my cassava flour, took it out of the cheesecloth after I wrung it out, and I spread it out. Ideally, this should be on a cookie sheet. All my cookie sheets are occupied right now, so I'm just spreading it out on foil. Foil is not ideal, guys. Cookie sheet, like a non-stick cookie sheet, is ideal, but this is what I have for now. So we're gonna spread this out. I'm gonna dehydrate it in the oven at 115 degrees for it. They say up to 12 hours. My oven only allows up to 9 hours, so I'll do 9 hours, check on it, and then give it another 2 or 3 hours if needed. Right? But it feels like really well wrung out, and you can see it's already looking like flour. But we're gonna go to the next step once it's very, very dry. See you in the morning. Morning, guys. It's the next morning. I had it in for 9 hours. Let's see how it feels. Okay. All right. I know it said online on somebody else's channel they said 12 hours, but this feels completely dry to me. All right, so next step would be to put it in the blender so it looks more like flour. Right now it's little grains. So I'm gonna blend this up in my NutriBullet, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have just about half of the cup. So let's go ahead and blend. All right, let's check this out. Oops. All right, guys, I think we have flour. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, I made cassava flour. This is incredible. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna make more. So guys, wow, look at this. Cassava flour is gluten-free. It's packed with nutrients. And guys, we made it right here in my own kitchen from my own backyard. This is amazing. So happy. And the process of squeezing out all that liquid and dehydrating the cassava removes all the cyanide. So this is perfectly safe, even raw. But of course, we're not going to be eating raw cassava flour. At least I'm not. But guys, oh my goodness, I cannot believe. With a little bit of cassava I did, we made cassava flour. I only use a small portion of what I had cut up. So I still have the huge container of cassava. I'm gonna make more. So now for this, you wanna keep it in an airtight container. From what I've read online, it can be fresh for up to a year, which I guess is like regular flour. So I have a whole bunch of mason jars. So I'm gonna be putting my cassava flour in a mason jar, and there'll be lots of recipes to come. I can make cookies, I can make tortillas, I can make my non-Indian flatbread. There's muffins, there's pancakes. Guys, there's crepes. There's so much I can make. And guys, I'm going to go blend up some more of the cassava, but I'm not going to dehydrate it. What I'm going to do is this gives me courage to make Jamaican bami. Oh my goodness, because I have so much cassava left. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make your own cassava flour. Guys, if you guys want to get cassava sticks, they are available on my Etsy store, so you can grow your own cassava. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Till next time, go on out there, make some cassava flour, make some banana flour. Just do your own thing, guys. Gluten free. Till next time, bye now.